We are live, Steve. Thank you so much. You are coming live from your beautiful studio back there. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing awesome. Thanks for having me. It's exciting to be here with you.
I'm excited to have you here, man. I know we have a personal past, and you've been my coach, and I'm so grateful that God brought us together. But just for the sake of everyone listening in, I want to let you guys know what Friendly Fridays is about. You can hear me pretty good, right, Steve?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. So Friendly Fridays is a opportunity for me to showcase some amazing people that I just happen to be connected with, and also to learn some stuff that we didn't learn in school. So there's a lot of things when it comes to being a good business owner, being a good person, that unfortunately our school systems kind of failed us at. So Paola Rodriguez and Steve Hopper today are here to teach you a little bit about authenticity. So, but first, before I get started, I wanted to tell you just what an amazing person we have on here. So Steve Hopper is one of the most inspiring speakers on the market today. He has delivered hundreds of presentations at corporate events, leadership and business conferences, personal development seminars, high schools, universities, churches, and even at correctional facilities. So Steve and I got connected. I actually went to a networking event, and he just gave me, out of the kindness of his heart, a free ticket to his event. And at that event, I just met so many amazing people, learned about his story, and I thought Steve is the perfect person to tell us about stepping into our authentic self, to be profitable, and to get more fulfillment out of life. Did I miss anything, Steve? I feel like the intro didn't do you justice, man.
No, the intro was awesome. Very humbling. Thank you. I'm excited again to be here with you. And yes, authenticity is key. And I'm excited to jump into that with you.
Awesome, man. So the you have a really amazing story. And I know we're not going to get into the story because it's going to get too long. But you taught me something very special. And I want you to touch on on authenticity. You are doing it yourself. And I feel like that was a pivotal moment in your career when you took ownership of everything you did in the past and just told everybody, hey, this is me, take it or leave it. So tell me a little bit more about that and what happened there.
Yeah, absolutely. When I got into the business world, I had put on this very professional facade. And I always tell people, a lot of times we lose money because we are just too professional. And what I mean by that is that, we put this very professional front on. And what happens is we give people what we think they want to see and what we think they need to see. And we're not really giving them our authentic self. I didn't share my story for a very long time. I went into corporate America and did that whole thing. And then I got out of corporate America and I started my own businesses, and I was out networking in our community, and I wasn't sharing my story. I wasn't sharing my real story. I was sharing my professional story, my professional background. And, God spoke to me at some point, and it came to me through, obviously other people that were stepping into my life and people that were, sitting down and spending time with me and saying, tell me your story, tell me your real story. And what was crazy was when I really started to actually tell my real story, because I was convinced for so long that sharing my real authentic story was going to prevent opportunity. It was going to close doors. It was going to prevent me from being successful, that people were going to cast judgment on me in some way, shape, or form. And I wasn't going to be able to hit the goals and things that I desired to hit, But when I began to really share my real authentic story, something amazing happened. What I realized in that moment was that everybody else was doing the same thing that I was doing. They were running around with this professional facade and, this is me, this is the best version of me. And they were withholding some very pertinent information, some personal information that I believe really allows people to connect on a much different level. When I sit down with coaching clients and prospects, et cetera, one of the most important questions that I ask them is, what are you struggling with right now? because I believe that when we get real and authentic like that in that way, that's when true magic happens, and that's when real relationships begin to develop. So when I started sharing my story, it was crazy because everybody around me started sharing their stories with me. It was almost like I gave them permission to let down their walls and become authentic. And it's allowed me to really develop some very solid, deep, concrete relationships in personal life and in business as well. And at the end of the day, that's what it's really all about. So you're losing money by not being authentic, and that authenticity, the real you, the good, the bad, the ugly, because that's what shaped you into who you are. That's what's made you so amazing. Paola, you are absolutely amazing. And the reason that you are the way that you are is not just because of the success that you've had or the good things that you've done. It's not just because of your Friday show. It's because of some of the struggles that you've gone through in your life and the lessons, the very valuable lessons that you've learned, lessons that allowed you to be compassionate towards others around you, allowed you to empathize or sympathize with their struggles and their needs and their desires and the things that they need to overcome. I always tell people that true success in life is when you become part of somebody else's story.
Yes.
And
cool by you. Yeah, but the main thing is we always try to portray this very professional way of who we are, right? But then we're closing the door to actual meaningful relationships. So on Monday, I shared my failure story. And it's crazy because I do a lot of things on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube, and that was the story that got the most engagement this whole year. And I was literally telling everyone how much I failed, and it's not about the failure. It's not about how you had some shortcomings. It's about how you overcame them too. So focusing on that the positive side of growth, because that's really what it's all about. It's not about where we're getting to. It's about enjoying the journey and becoming the person that we're supposed to become. And so I love that you are able to create a career speaking and motivating others, telling your story, being authentically you, and turning that into a massively profitable business, but also incredible fulfillment in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I heard my pastor say something at church one day, and it's just stuck with me ever since. And I say it all the time. And he said, God has to develop the dreamer before he can develop the dream. And that's what makes us all so special, is that we get to go through these things in life, again, the good, the bad, the ugly, so that we can become those people, the people that have the ability to influence others, the people that have the ability to lift others to another level and to help each other. And right now, in the times that we are in, it's perfect timing. It's the time. It is the time. We've got so much going on out there, and we're faced with so much negativity on a daily basis. And if we can go in there and we can share that positive and be that light in the midst of the darkness, then ultimately, we can fulfill that purpose of impacting other people in a positive way.
100%. And the biggest thing that you taught me was that once we almost feel like imposters, like when we're showing up, we feel like, why should people listen to us? We're not where we want to be yet, right? So I'm comparing myself to Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, Oprah, and I'm like, why would people listen to me? I'm not there yet. You told me, well, Paola, everyone has a different journey, and they might just want to be right where you're at. And I was like, it just shattered all my beliefs of like, and I have you to thank, Steve, for doing these videos. You were the one who told me, because I was doing them here and there, but you were the one who told me, start doing videos every day. And I'm like, okay. And then I did them, and I was terrible at them. Then I honed in on that skill, and I got better and better. And now someone tells me to shoot a video, let's do it live. Awesome. It's going to be great. I will mess up, but it's going to be awesome. People are going to love it. So
of course, authenticity again, and I'm sure that you'll admit that since you've been doing these videos, you've made so many great new connections and And it's just expanding your circle of influence by putting yourself out there front and center, right?
Yes. And I can actually even name people who, if I wasn't doing this, they would have never been my clients. So I could, I could think of a few, people, Lisa, who's a real estate investor, my friend who has a door installation company. Like, they would have never known who I was, what I was about, if I hadn't put myself out there and started doing these videos and being authentic too, and sharing my learnings. And sometimes I felt like, why the heck am I doing this? But I just kept doing it and just showing up as who I am. And I will be honest with you, Steve, I haven't shared 100% of who I am, because sometimes you need to give yourself some grace and some time to step into that person. But as long as you're making small steps towards getting there, that's all you can ask of yourself. So we're not.
Yeah. And the encouragement is not to, it's not to necessarily, because I mean, think about it. A lot of us have been through a lot of stuff in life. Like, there are we talk about defining moments. We have a plethora of defining moments if we look at our lives, and it's not about, weighing down your audience with all of the stuff that you've been through. It's literally there's a matter of finesse to it, and this is something I work on with a lot of my clients, is how to take the aspects of their story that are going to be most impressionable for their audience, that are going to be most impactful for their audience. Because if you get up on stage or you hop on video and you start just laying everything on the table, like, I went through this and then this happened to me and then this happened to me, and then it has the wrong effect that you're looking to accomplish, because finally your audience is sitting back there going, oh my gosh, I feel like 10 times worse than I did before I jumped on this. This girl has been through so much. Oh, and they walk away carrying this burden that you just put on them because you just threw all your drama out there to them. And it does the opposite of what you're looking to do. So a lot of the times we work on what aspects of your story should you be sharing, how should you share those, etc. So yeah, it's not about throwing all your laundry out there, your dirty laundry, and just weighing down your audience with burden.
Yeah. So you brought up a great point, Steve, that you are able to help people kind of craft that story and help them with making sure that their message is heard in a way that people are going to receive it and be and have a connection with them. And so I know that you have been gracious enough to share your link to be able to book a session. So guys, for you, those of you that are watching, or those of you who are watching the replay, please go to stevehoppercoaches.com if you're interested in having Steve help you. He's been gracious enough to do a free consultation with anyone that uses the link. So Steve, you've helped me out a ton. Yeah. So guys, please make sure you at least talk to Steve. I talked to Steve and at first, and didn't become a client till like 6-7 months later, right, Steve? Something like that.
Yeah.
And so if you're thinking about it, all great business people and all great athletes have coaches. So make sure that if Steve's your man, that you connect with him. So yeah, any last minute things, anything that
I just want to reiterate, in case they missed it, it's their favorite 4-letter word, free, to go get that complimentary session. And I'm doing that for a limited time. My theme this year for 2021 is that your message matters. So I'm on a mission to help more people get their message out there, whether it's through, building their own personal brand, or through video content, or through writing a book and becoming a published author, or even cultivating their signature speech and getting on stage and sharing their message to the masses. So do take advantage, don't miss the opportunity. Opportunities like that don't come around too often, but I'm throwing that out there for everybody. So do take advantage. And Paola, I just want to tell you, thank you once again. You're amazing. It's been exciting to sit back and watch your journey. I know you've given me some kudos, but it's been just as much a blessing to me as it's been to you to be part of your journey and your story. And I'm excited to see all the cool things that you're doing moving forward.
Oh man, there's some cool stuff moving forward, man. Half of it.
So tell them, let them know. So
Thank you so much, Steve. I appreciate
Okay.
you being with us today. Guys, make sure you go to stevehoppercoaches.com to book your free session with Steve. And until next time, guys, see you next time.